Welcome to Super Showdowns, the ultimate destination for epic battles and legendary showdowns. Join us as we put iconic superheroes, villains, and mythological figures against each other in thrilling matches of strength, strategy, and skill. The cosmos trembled, and the stars seemed to dim as a mad titan, Thanos, strode through the ruins of Sakaar. It was a world that had once stood as a monument to strength, a gladiator's paradise where only the fiercest survived. Now, it was a hollow husk, a desolate land of smoldering wreckage and shattered dreams. Thanos was here for one purpose, to eliminate the last remnant of Sakaar's defiance, the being known as the Hulk. Across the expanse of molten rivers and jagged cliffs, Bruce Banner, no longer the meek scientist but the embodiment of unbridled rage, stood as a world breaker. His emerald skin glowed faintly in the dim light, veins pulsing with gamma energy so potent it threatened to tear the planet apart. Hulk's journey to this moment had been carved from pain, betrayal, and loss. The destruction of his adopted world had unleashed his fury, turning him into the most dangerous incarnation of himself. The clash between these two titans was inevitable. Thanos, ever the opportunist, saw an unshackled force of nature in Hulk and sought to prove that his will was supreme. But this would not be a simple skirmish. This would be a battle to define the limits of strength and resolve. The confrontation began with Thanos stepping into Hulk's domain. The air crackled with tension as the mad titan surveyed his opponent. "You survived 1,000 battles," Thanos declared, his voice deep and commanding. "But survival isn't victory. I will end this chapter of chaos." Hulk didn't respond with words. His roar was his declaration. It wasn't merely a sound, it was a seismic event. The ground beneath them cracked, lava spewing forth as his rage resonated with the planet's core. Thanos smirked, unfazed. He had faced beings of unimaginable power before, and in his mind, Hulk was another obstacle to conquer. With a flick of his wrist, Thanos activated his armor's energy shield. His gauntlet, bereft of the Infinity Stones, gleamed ominously, and his massive blade rested on his shoulder like a trophy of past conquests. The battlefield erupted as Hulk launched himself forward with a force that shattered the ground beneath him. He moved faster than anything his size should, a gamma-powered missile intent on obliteration. Thanos sidestepped at the last moment, bringing his blade down in a sweeping arc. The edge met Hulk's skin, creating a burst of sparks but failing to cut deeply. "You'll need more than a shiny knife," Hulk bellowed, swinging a fist the size of a boulder. The blow connected with Thanos' shield, the impact sending shockwaves across the desolate landscape. Thanos staggered but held his ground, countering with a powerful kick to Hulk's midsection.
Hey you, don't just watch, subscribe please.
The force sent the green behemoth skidding backward, carving a trench through the rocky terrain. "Impressive," Thanos admitted, his voice calm despite the clash of titanic forces. "But rage alone will not save you." Hulk's eyes burned with emerald fury as he rose. His muscles swelled further, and his breath came in guttural growls. "You took everything from me," Hulk snarled. "Sakaar, my peace, my family. Now you'll pay." The Hulk clapped his hands together, generating a concussive wave that rippled outward, leveling the nearby mountains. Thanos braced himself as the force hit, his armor absorbing much of the blow, though the sheer power forced him to dig his heels into the ground. Thanos retaliated by hurling his blade with precision, aiming for Hulk's chest. Hulk caught it mid-air, snapping the weapon in half as if it were made of glass. "You'll need more than toys," Hulk roared, leaping high into the air before crashing down with an earth-shattering punch aimed at Thanos. The mad titan barely dodged, rolling aside as the ground beneath them gave way, creating a massive crater. Lava spewed forth, illuminating the battlefield in a fiery glow. Thanos seized a chunk of debris and hurled it at Hulk, who smashed it effortlessly, his strength increasing with every passing second. Thanos, recognizing the escalation, began to adapt his strategy. He charged Hulk head-on, meeting his brute strength with calculated precision. Their fists collided, creating shockwaves that rippled across the atmosphere, visible even from distant worlds. Hulk's strikes became faster, more frenzied, each blow shaking the ground beneath them. But Thanos used his cunning, exploiting Hulk's reckless rage. He dodged a powerful swing and delivered a crushing elbow to Hulk's temple, briefly stunning the green giant. "You are powerful," Thanos said, his voice tinged with respect. "But you are not invincible." Hulk shook off the blow, his gaze locked onto Thanos. His body glowed brighter, the gamma energy within him reaching levels that even he hadn't accessed before. "You talk too much," Hulk growled, his voice deeper and more guttural. As the battle raged, the planet itself began to falter under the strain of their clash. Earthquakes rippled across the landscape, geysers of molten rock erupting into the air. Thanos and Hulk fought on, their blows igniting the sky with energy, each determined to prove their supremacy. The planet groaned under the weight of their battle. Jagged fissures split open the landscape, spewing rivers of molten lava as shockwaves rippled across the surface. Above it all, the sky turned crimson, as if the universe itself bore witness to this clash of titans. Thanos, ever the tactician, stood resolute, his deep-set eyes locked on the green behemoth before him. Across from him, Hulk, no, the World Breaker, towered, his glowing body radiating power so intense it warped the very air around him. For all his strength and strategy, Thanos began to understand the true meaning of unstoppable rage. Thanos lunged forward, his armored fist glowing with the energy of his shield generator. His punches, each strong enough to pulverize mountains, struck Hulk square in the chest. The impacts echoed like thunderclaps, sending ripples through Hulk's dense muscles. Yet, Hulk stood firm, his feet sinking into the shattered earth but refusing to yield. With a primal roar, Hulk retaliated. His fist, larger than Thanos' entire torso, connected with the Mad Titan's midsection. The blow wasn't just strength, it was pure, unfiltered rage. Thanos was launched backward like a missile, crashing through jagged rock formations and skidding to a halt in a river of molten lava. Thanos gritted his teeth and rose, his armor scorched and dented. "You are relentless, Hulk, but even rage has its limits. Not mine," Hulk bellowed, leaping into the air. The ground beneath him shattered from the force of his takeoff. He descended like a meteor, fists outstretched, aiming to crush Thanos where he stood. Thanos moved with the agility of a warrior who had fought for centuries. He rolled aside, avoiding Hulk's devastating impact, and countered with a blast from his armor's energy cannon. The beam struck Hulk square in the back, sending him tumbling forward. Seizing the opportunity, Thanos dashed in and locked Hulk in a chokehold, applying his full strength. "Submit," Thanos roared, tightening his grip as his muscles bulged with effort. But the World Breaker's power only grew. Hulk's skin glowed brighter, and his body radiated heat so intense that Thanos' armor began to melt. With a guttural growl, Hulk flexed his neck muscles, breaking Thanos' hold. He grabbed the Mad Titan's arms and hurled him over his shoulder, slamming him into the ground with enough force to create another crater. Hulk didn't stop there. He leapt onto Thanos and delivered a series of bone-crushing punches. Each blow was like a meteor strike, sending shockwaves rippling across the battlefield. Thanos tried to block the onslaught, but Hulk's strength had surpassed even his most calculated expectations. Thanos, blooded and battered, struggled to rise. He clenched his fists and summoned the last reserves of his energy, releasing a massive blast that enveloped Hulk in a blinding explosion. The shockwave leveled the surrounding terrain, reducing mountains to rubble. When the dust cleared, Thanos stood panting, his armor in tatters. For a moment, he thought he had won. But then, from the crater, Hulk emerged. His body glowed with an otherworldly light, and his eyes burned with emerald fire. "You can't beat me," Hulk growled, his voice deeper and more menacing than ever. "This is for Sakaar. This is for everyone you destroyed." Thanos charged one final time, his fists crackling with energy. Hulk met him head-on. Their fists collided, creating an explosion of energy so massive it could be felt across the cosmos. But this time, Hulk's strength was too much. Thanos' arm buckled under the force, the bones shattering with a sickening crunch. Hulk seized the moment, grabbing Thanos by the head. With a roar that shook the heavens, he slammed the mad titan into the ground with such force that the planet itself began to break apart. Lava erupted from every fissure as the ground beneath them crumbled. Thanos lay motionless, his body broken and blooded. Hulk stood over him, his chest heaving, his body still radiating the energy of a gamma-fueled god. The ground quaked beneath his feet, the planet unable to withstand his power. "You fought well," Thanos rasped, his voice weak but defiant. "But strength alone will not save you." Hulk glared down at him, his fists clenched. For a moment, it seemed he might finish Thanos for good. But then, he stepped back, his rage subsiding slightly. "I don't need to save anyone," Hulk said. "I'm the world breaker. I destroy." With that, Hulk leapt into the sky, leaving Thanos broken in the ruins of a dying planet. As the world crumbled around him, Thanos managed a faint smile. "Impressive," he muttered before the molten earth swallowed him whole. Far away, the echoes of their battle rippled across the universe. The World Breaker had proven his might, but his victory came at a cost. The destruction he left in his wake was a reminder of his unstoppable power and the terrible price of his rage.